Good evening, well dwellers, to another episode of Poisoning the Well Live. I'm your host, Fat Pat. Joined with me as always is Soy Fane over here. Just kidding. Welcome to Lesser Saints Discord, everybody. Your Friday, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time show, right before your beloved late night Saints. To update you on Discord and other shit went on this week that we thought was.
Yeah, there's really nothing that I can think of.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it. So let's go straight to
this. It was kind of a slow news week.
Yeah.
No Discord news?
No, nothing. Already brought us to the main page. We have 2 people other than us watching right now. Woo!
Hi, interact in the chat. It helps. Addie, you have something that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I'm real angry about something. I'm real angry about something, and I'd like to use this platform to signal boost a man named Mike Dane, who is doing the Lord's work, really, for
And this is not sarcastic, Addie. Keep that in mind.
No, I'm breaking character or whatever tonight, or at least for this.
Going outside her normal personality.
Yeah, this is something that's really important to me. When I was growing up, my family and we kept exotic pets. We kept a lot of pets. We were kind of like a rescue shelter, like an impromptu rescue shelter for like abused dogs, people who bought snakes and they're like, oh, I didn't know snakes got so big, and then we took them in and found homes for them. People who were like, I got a monitor thinking it would be really cool, but then my girlfriend was like, fuck you, get rid of it. So we would take them in, rehabilitate them, rehome them. So yeah, like big flesh-eating lizards and snakes and aggressive dogs and things like that were a common sight in my household. Birds, my dad had a zookeeper license as well. He was licensed in the state of New York to have exotic animals that most people can't. I remember a time when I was 10, we had a lynx in our fucking guest bedroom. That was fun. Yeah, so there's a guy called Mike Dane. I linked him in the chat. I'm not sure where he's from, but he's doing the Lord's work. And I'm not a religious person. I say that, just a saying that people say. But he's policing what has come to be known as PetTube. Or the hey, we've got a bunch of animals in our house side of YouTube. People who vlog with like lots of fish, they've got really fancy aquariums, or they've got lots and lots of like reptiles or spiders or cool stuff like that. He's basically a watchdog for channels that are, whether they know it or not, abusing the fuck out of their animals. And he brought to my attention, because I don't go on the family side of YouTube, he brought to my attention a channel called the Reptile Channel. That claims to be, let me read their channel description right here. I will link them in the chat.
No, they don't need more traffic.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. If you're gonna go there, go to report them. Yeah. Watch their videos, but do it with ad block on. So like only if you want to see the evidence of the stuff that I'm going to talk about.
And we'll at the end of your rant, we'll get into the whole reporting thing, which I kind of want to talk about a little bit.
Yeah. So I've got some feedback for YouTube on their reporting system as well.
We'll talk about that at the end. Yeah. So
the Reptile Channel, their description on their about section of their Social Blade is new episodes every Saturday. Channel is about reptile education, care and feeding, avoid accidents and injuries, online degree programs, and bachelor degree accreditation. What the fuck? Member of the channel does venom research and is working on her PhD. Another works with reptiles and amphibians at a major zoo. Gives tours and does animal outreach at schools. I sure fucking hope not. Videos we produced were created in pursuit of a MSc. I don't know what that is. Of an MSc in zoology with a focus on predatory reptile feeding behavior.
I think that's a master's degree.
Yeah, well, it's a fucking lie.
Maybe it's a master's certificate.
Blah, 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 blah. In zoology with a focus on predatory reptile feeding behavior, strategy, and anatomy and acquiring of resources. What? That's fucking word salad. Created to both support and defend a master's thesis.
An MSc in zoology is a Master of Science. It's a master's degree.
Well, they're not going to get it if their content on their channel has any indication on the kind of stuff that they'll be presenting to their professors. Content is created and available to academia for herpetological biostatistics. There are no biostatistics to be found on this fucking channel. It is clickbait bullshit. Sorry, I'm getting angry before
Keep going.
That's fine. Don't worry about getting injured.
Also, people young and old who like reptiles, learning about them, and plain old just enjoy watching them. If you have reptile videos, predatory or plant eating, they're not going to use your plant eating videos. They don't fucking care about that. You would like to contribute to this channel, and you are the owner and don't mind us monetizing, please contact us. Helps with veterinary care and of rescue reptiles. You are full of shit. All right. Okay. Let me collect myself for a minute.
If you can't tell, this is not Addie having a good time. This is Addie, I'm pissed about something that I care about.
This channel claims to be about the education and proper care of carnivorous reptiles. What it actually is a shock value channel under the guise of family-friendly YouTube. It considers itself family-friendly, it's monetized, and you can find it under YouTube Kids. What it is reptile vor porn and animal gore. Now, let me clarify that there is an entire section of YouTube devoted to carnivorous animal keeping. And there are many monetized videos that are done in the proper way. Where they're like, hey, I keep carnivorous spiders, and I'm going to feed a bunch of roaches and grasshoppers to them. Watch them get devoured by the spider. They're feeder roaches, they're feeder animals, whatever. Hey, check out this snake. It's going to eat this thawed frozen rat. Now you're learning how a snake eats its prey.
Oh, because they give a shit.
That's fine. That's completely fine. As a lover of quote-unquote exotic animals myself, I wish I could keep spiders. I want a number of tarantulas so bad, but my roommate is deathly arachnophobic. If he sees a spider, he goes into shock. This channel infuriates me. It's disgusting and abusive. Let me look at their videos. I know I can't screen share on my computer.
I'll pull it up.
Yeah, they're just called the Reptile Channel. Their thumbnail is like a T-Rex, and it says "Subscribe Reptile Channel"
Yeah, I can.
for their icon.
Yeah, I just went off your link.
Yeah, their banner is stolen stock footage, or it's someone else's image, because not that child and that woman are nowhere on this channel. They don't exist on this channel. Their latest update. Keep in mind, this is family friendly. This is educational. Their latest update is lizard fights anaconda when food is brought out. And it's a photoshopped image of their large monitor attacking their, might I add, incredibly sick anaconda. It's funny that they photoshopped the hand onto the anaconda, because that actually happens in the video. Their anaconda is weak and sick because they don't know how to take care of it. It's got a severe respiratory infection. It's very sluggish as a result and very docile. Anacondas in general are very docile. They don't attack people. They're not man-eaters, but that's one of their favorite things. They like to call monitors and anacondas man-eaters. This is incorrect. This is miseducation. This is fear-mongering for shock value.
Yeah, they'll only... Most animals will only attack people if they're, like, threatened or extremely hungry.
In their latest video, they place a prey item between the snake and the monitor. Or rather, they place the snake between the prey item and the monitor. They hold the snake in place, and the monitor, being like, I guess this fucking snake is in my way, bites the snake. This is a scenario that was created by the keepers.
Mm-hmm.
You could say, oh, we had our monitor out and our snake out at the same time, which, by the way, is wildly irresponsible. You should not have these animals around each other. In like tanks or their holding areas or their habitat, that's fine. But to put them in the same room together with no barriers between them is incredibly irresponsible as a keeper. Especially when there's a food item that they're going to fight over. They willfully put their sick snake in the way of this, I'm assuming, healthy monitor to be attacked by it. They created the scenario. That's fucking animal abuse.
Well, I think there's even the potential that the monitor is really hungry.
If they're that irresponsible with the anaconda, do you really think they're going to be irresponsible with the monitor?
See, now I haven't even gotten to the best part. I will get to the best part, but I want to go through a couple other things.
Define best part.
The twist. The M. Night Shyamalan twist. So as we go through their videos, you'll notice a theme. Lizard fights anaconda when food is brought out. Large python enters our home, eats everything in sight. Opossum falls in pool, plays dead. Anaconda don't care, eats anyway. Lizard chases a chicken, eats it. I like this one. It's on the second row down, all the way on the right. Rat meets lizard. Rat falls in love. Lizard eats rat. Has a picture of a red squirrel.
What?
They don't even know the difference between a rat and a fucking squirrel. And they're going to teach us about reptiles. They're going to teach us about animals. They're here to educate children and, anyone that fits the family-friendly demographic about animals. You'll notice the theme that literally every title has something to do with eating. Usually whole. They did an entire video where they imply that they had a chihuahua and the anaconda broke into their house. Where is it? Family's dog is missing. Finds 20-foot long python in home. Little chihuahua. This is a lie. This is clickbait. They literally just have footage of their snake going up and down the stairs. And then they plaster stock footages or stock images of little chihuahuas all over the video with a terrible troom level voiceover of a lady going, "Oh, Fluffy, where are you, Fluffy? I can't find my dog. Oh no!" Over B-roll of their snake crawling down the stairs, implying that the snake ate this dog. This never happened. It's bullshit, and they're spreading the myth that snakes will just eat anything. Snakes are dangerous. Don't have snakes in your house. They constantly call their monitor and their anaconda a man-eater, which is false. A monitor, you could say, maybe in the wild, if you died of some other cause and the monitor came across your corpse and like your hand fell off, it might eat your hand because they're scavengers. Or rather, they're not scavengers, they're opportunistic hunters. They'll eat whatever they can find that's made of meat.
Now, anacondas in nature have been found with people inside them, but we're talking like massive anacondas.
Yeah, like I said earlier, they're fucking hungry because they're giant.
Yeah. Yeah, and the one grain of truth that they have is that they have some kind of background in zoology, because you would not be able to have a pet anaconda otherwise. They're illegal to have as pets in the U.S. Unless I missed something and they're not actually in the U.S.
I think it depends on the state. In Texas, you can have whatever the fuck you want, pretty much.
What was it? There's another one. There's another one with a squirrel. A squirrel with a kiddie pool, which is also bullshit. Where like anaconda eats live squirrel in kiddie pool. It's a roadkill squirrel. They fed roadkill to the
Lizard
snake.
jumps in pool, grabs wild animal, eats it, and it looks like it's a picture of a squirrel.
That could be it. There's like 4 that had that thumbnail and title. Anyway, my point is, they're disgusting. They post animal gore porn on their channel. They're feeding roadkill to their captive species. Their anaconda has a severe respiratory infection. If you can hear your snake or your lizard breathing, like I don't mean like a hiss, but if you can hear them breathing in and out normally, they have a respiratory infection. You should not be able to hear a reptile breathing. As well, Mike Dane, this wonderful man, points out that there are many clips of their snake where it yawns. When a snake yawns, snakes don't need to yawn. Snakes only yawn when they're having breathing trouble. They're not actually yawning. They're trying to clear the phlegm out of their throat. I know this from decades of keeping reptiles myself. You can also see in many HD close-up high-res clips that there's mucus and all sorts of other infections in the snake's throat. They don't know how to keep these animals. I don't know how they got these animals. They should not have them. They're mistreating them. There's another video. I should mention a trigger warning. If you are put off by baby animals being eaten alive and screaming while it happens, maybe click off the video right now. I'm not going to say we're going to watch it.
We're not.
Yeah, we shouldn't. I don't think we can get away with that on Twitch, and that's fine by me. But I'm going to describe it. In this video, they fake that their neighbor, quote unquote, contacted them about a rat infestation in their closet. So allegedly their neighbor contacted them because they have a large monitor lizard that is really good at sniffing out rats and eating them, thus ending the infestation. This is not a scenario that would ever happen in reality. This is complete bullshit clickbait.
Why does this channel have a bloopers video?
I don't want to watch it. I'm sure it's going to make me mad.
It says giant anaconda, bloopers, outtakes, and behind the scenes. How the fuck do you have bloopers when you're getting live footage of something that's supposedly happening naturally?
Yeah.
Because you're coaxing in manufacturing situations.
Yeah.
So what happens is the quote-unquote rat infestation is inside a closed shoebox with no hole chewed in it, inside a shoe with neatly packed dried grass as a nest. There's no hole chewed in the box where the rat would get in. There's no evidence that the rat entered this closet in any way. There's no left behind detritus, like, oh, the rat carried this grass in from outside and it dropped some. Rats make a fucking mess when they make their nest. This is just a thing. This is neatly packed inside a shoe, and wouldn't you know it, inside the shoe are a bunch of Dumbo rat pups, baby rats. No mother, no father, no adult rats found anywhere. And mind you, Dumbo rats are a captive bred species. They were bred in captivity. Dumbo rats do not exist in the wild. They do not infest your house. They are bought from a pet store, not as a feeder, as a pet. They are highly intelligent. You can teach them all kinds of tricks, and they get very large. They're very smart. They are adorable. If you find rats disgusting, I understand. But they're the most adorable breed of rat you can get.
It's just the tails that freak me out.
They take the shoe out of the box, put it in front of the monitor, and the monitor does what a monitor does. These are not feeder animals. These are pets. Not only do you hear them screaming while it eats them alive, the motherfucker that edited the video has the fucking balls to put cartoon munching sound effects over the fucking carnage. This is a family-friendly educational channel.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, if you couldn't hear the air quotes in the tone of the voice, I don't know what you're doing here.
Now on to the best part. This man has had a channel in the past. I don't know the name of it, but he had a channel in the past where he uploaded animal gore porn. Guess what his username was? Jonah Vor. Now, if you're a member of the Saints Discord and you watch the Lesser Saints,
Probably are.
you've been on some shady parts of the internet, I'm guessing. You probably know what the word vor means. It's a fetish about being swallowed whole. This is an animal vor fetish gore porn channel under the guise of being a family-friendly animal education channel. It's monetized and available under YouTube Kids. And you can't report it because it doesn't fall under any of the criteria for reporting a channel. YouTube has neither miseducation nor animal abuse report options. And I'm fucking livid.
Yeah, this is a bit more what I wanted to get into. Tell them what happened when you tried to report the channel.
I tried to report the channel. Rimshee, why don't you actually go ahead and try? Click on the About tab, and then go to the little flag icon under Stats. Now, you have an option called Report User. Now, when it comes up, you get the following options. harassment and cyberbullying, impersonation, violent threats, child endangerment, hate speech against a protected group, spam and scams, privacy. None of these are your issue. Well, none of these are my issue. So you select that little radio box. Then you click report. And it takes you to a channel or it takes you to a page called Policies and Safety, where it shows you a condescending video where it basically explains to you that just because you find something offensive doesn't mean it's worthy of being reported. Get your fucking shit together, Susan.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
Here's the fucked up part. Where the fuck is YouTube getting at saying, if you're butthurt about this, that doesn't mean it's against our rules, when they fucking demonetize people all the time. Just for saying fuck within the first 10 minutes.
For less than this guy has been dealt with.
Mm-hmm. So, anyways,
that's really all I've got.
I don't know. Technically, they're harassing animals. Could you list it under harassment?
I mean, I tried to report it under like spam and scams, but that doesn't fall under like miseducation. And if you file like a false report, you get in trouble. And like, I don't really post anything on my YouTube channel, but I don't want to get my YouTube channel banned because I'm trying to help animals that are being abused, and I'm trying to stop the spread of misinformation about carnivorous reptiles. Because lots of people, the majority of people, think that snakes and like big lizards are fucking scary and they'll attack you and they're poisonous and you'll die if you have one as a pet and they'll eat your fucking animals and your kids. And that's not the fucking case. But that's what this channel promotes while lying about being educational.
So what I want everybody to do is go to Addie's Twitter, where Addie has already typed up a whole thing for Team YouTube, and retweet that and tag everybody, I guess. Yeah. If you want to find Addie's Twitter, it is at Blair Addie.
The guy we're talking about, Canuck, is the guy we're talking about is this douchebag here. Reptile channel, and apparently those aren't people that are actually in the channel. Apparently that's stock footage or something. If you weren't here at the beginning when Addie went on this tirade.
Also, I'm gonna take a break because I'm getting kind of like, I'm more than angry. Like I'm.
That's fine.
But before I go, like, I'll be back. I just need a couple minutes. I really want to shout out this guy. His name is Mike Dane. He's the guy that brought this to people's attention. He's, like I said at the top, he's an amazing guy. What he does is he follows PetTube, quote unquote, very closely. People who vlog about their animals and stuff like that. And he polices them. And when he sees something wrong, that's animal abuse or, you know, like misinformation being spread, he calls it out. And he needs way more followers because he is a voice for good, and his voice is very, very quiet right now. He's only got 7.5 thousand followers. I'm one of them, obviously. And
we are now one of them.
yeah, so this dude needs a megaphone because he's doing good for animals on YouTube. Lots of, like, he called out Jake Paul. They did a whole thing where they scared the crap out of their friends by throwing snakes in a pool. A fucking snake that can't swim, and they threw it in chlorinated water. Like, this dude needs a larger voice. So please, like, you don't have to follow him if you're not into animals and stuff like that. And if you don't want to see, because he does show some of the abuse. Not for shock value, not for views, but to show you the horrible things that are happening. If you don't want to follow it, I understand. If it's hard for you to watch, I understand. But please signal boost him. because he is doing so much good. And that's pretty much all I gotta say on the subject. I'll be back in a couple minutes. I need to go calm down.
He also only has 41 followers on Twitter. You know, I think we should get him on the show next week.
Try. Let's see about that.
I'll try to get a hold of him this weekend.
Thanks, guys. Really.
Yeah, no problem. I posted some cute snacks in the live show section in the Discord, and let's move on to more entertaining things. Like
let's move on to something stupid, like how veggie burgers aren't veggie burgers anymore.
Yeah.
You want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. Arkansas is the latest state to... Oh, wait, by the way, guys. No. Give him a follow on Twitter or something, if you can find it. What's Addie's Twitter?
I got it. You go ahead and read.
Okay, yeah. Arkansas is the latest state to ban calling veggie burgers veggie burgers. A new law bans those phrases and others on packaging in Arkansas. Tofurkey and the ACLU are suing. Okay.
What the fuck?
In 2 days, if the courts don't stop them, Arkansas will ban grocery stores from calling veggie burgers, and from calling soy milk. Okay. I actually don't know what the plan is for the rest of this, but Arkansas isn't the first to try this. Similar laws are on the books in Mississippi and Missouri, banning alternative meat companies from labeling their products veggie burgers, tofu sausage, vegan bacon, and the like. Okay, so the bacon thing, I understand, because bacon is a specific cut of meat.
It's a specific cut of pig, so turkey bacon is not real bacon either.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a bit more debatable, but it's more specified as a cut of meat. I agree with you, but I think there's a debate
I agree.
That I would take the other. I would take a side on just for the sake of having the argument.
Yeah.
Supporters of such laws say that they're needed to avoid consumer confusion. A person getting a product labeled veggie burger might be confused by the word burger. Hold on one second. Is this? Yeah, this is Arkansas. Makes sense. Might be confused by the word burger and not know that the product was plant-based. Consumer advocates say that such laws and the reasoning behind them are silly. There's no evidence that consumers are confused by plant-based bacon or veggie burger labels, and federal laws are already in place that prohibits consumer deception. Jessica Almy, director of the Food Institute, told me earlier in July. Okay. I asked Jamie Athos, CEO of Tofurkey, which is suing Arkansas over the new law, if this was a common consumer complaint, and he confirmed it was unheard of. We've never gotten a complaint like that, Athos told me. And consumers will probably be more confused if product labels they know and recognize, like soy milk and veggie burger, are replaced with unfamiliar ones. Opponents argue that there's a different reason for these recent moves. They protect the meat and dairy industries by regulating their competitors off the shelves. In a lawsuit filed Monday to stop the Arkansas law, the ACLU argues that such laws are unconstitutional. Okay, before we get any further. No, they're not going to ban the soy. What they're trying to do is they're trying to make it illegal to put the word milk. in the soy milk, on the soy milk product. But I mean, you have cow milk, you have goat milk. It's with the soy milk thing. I think it's just a classifier that it's this type of milk. It's roughly the same product, just made from something else or comes from something else. This seems like it. I'm not pro-vegetarian or vegan or anything like that.
I'm definitely not.
Yeah.
I'd rather have bacon any day of the week.
I went vegetarian for a bit, because I'm pretty anti-factory farming. That's literally I think that's the only valid argument for vegetarianism and veganism. And like I started losing my hair. My body just doesn't do well on a completely plant-based diet. I physically cannot do that. And before anybody that fucking says anything, yes, I was doing all the right precautions. I was getting lots of the proteins. I was even taking extra supplements. I did the whole fucking 9 yards. Was not going well. I don't know what they want to call it. That's the other thing. You're asking to remarket. The bacon one's the only one I can really get behind. Because it's a cut of meat. Literally.
And in fact, the definition specifically states what it is. Bacon is a specific cut of meat from the sides and belly of a pig.
Yeah. Burger. That one's debatable. I already gave my argument for the milk thing, but I don't give a shit about that. What was the other one that they put up? Sausage. I think that one's debatable. Like, you could...
Okay, here's my question. Who the fuck goes to the store and says, "Oh, burger, I'm gonna grab that. I'm not gonna look at anything else on the packaging. I'm just gonna assume it's the exact same shit that I always get, despite it looking completely different."
That's the Tofurkey's CEO's argument, which I'm in agreement with. That's fine. And also, by the way, some veggie burgers are actually pretty tasty.
Fuck you. They're nasty.
Can I? I said some. It's very few that are actually pretty good.
Yeah, I've never found one.
Yeah. I found one. What I would like to do is I would like to make a burger, just a regular burger, cheese, bacon, then the veggie burger for toppings. I'm all set. It's a full meal. Anyways, when my sister was vegetarian, it really pissed her off that I did shit like that. Alright.
Yeah, well, she was vegetarian, so who cares?
Huh?
Nothing, just keep reading.
Yeah. Plant-based products are getting big. Now meat companies are fighting back. It's been a big year for plant-based foods. I think this is a whole other article that's not even going to get into it. It's just talking about how big plant-based foods are going. I agree. We should eat more veggies.
A free speech question.
But what do you mean? Free speech question?
No, that's the next fold down.
Okay, that might be more interesting. Does it even make sense to say that a creamery or tofurkey manufacturer has the right to free speech? The answer is yes.
From Vox.
Okay. Here's the... Okay. So, free speech, yes. But if it doesn't fit under a classification, that falls under false advertisement, which means a no. That's one of the very few ways that America is limited in its free speech. I can't say watch our show; it'll make your dick really big. In all seriousness, and then promote it like that constantly. I can say it as a joke, but we do have some females in here. Watch our show. If you're a dude, it'll make your dick really big. If you're a female, it'll make your pussy really tight. That, like, I can say that as a joke, but I can't advertise the show as that. And I gotta throw the disclaimer. Just kidding, guys. What it comes down to, I think what this all comes down to is just how you classify what the food is. Especially for the bacon's the one that really concerns me. Because that's agree. Just rude.
Tofu sucks. But, I mean, the fact that Vox is making this argument, though, that it's a free speech argument. Yeah. Not to get too far into politics, but it's ironic.
Yeah. Vox. Doesn't that one dude work for Vox?
Which one?
He's pretty Sue happy right now, so I'm not gonna.
Oh, the one with Crowder?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he does work for Vox.
Yeah. Whatever, I'm done. I don't want to give Vox any more attention.
Yeah, let's talk about school teachers.
Yeah.
Teachers are treating school kids like dummies! As Miss Rimshee told me when I read this, Miss Rimshee said when I read this this headline out loud, because they are. Experts agree
because the school kids are dummy, or because the teachers actually are treating the kids like dummies?
Because the school kids are dumb.
That. I did browse through this article a little bit, so I have some things to say about it.
Experts agree that reading to children is one of the best things parents and teachers can do to boost learning, especially when they are quizzed on the story. However, researchers have discovered that many instructors fail to ask enough questions, and the ones that do are underestimating kids' intelligence. The study published the journal Early Childhood. The study published. What the fuck, New York Post? The study published in the journal Early Childhood Research Quarterly reveals that as preschool teachers read aloud to children, only 24% of commentary asked kids to talk about story, and the questions they did ask were too easy. We don't want to ask all difficult questions, says study author Laura Justice. What a fucking name. Educational psychology professor at Ohio State University. But we should be coaxing children along cognitively and linguistically by occasionally offering challenging questions. Though the study looked only at teachers' behaviors, parents should take note as well. Justice says, as previous research has shown, most fail to quiz their children at all during reading. That's because parents don't want to deal with that shit. They just want the kid to go the fuck to sleep. Researchers observed 96 preschool and kindergarten teachers and their students from schools throughout the Midwestern and Southern U.S. Teachers were recorded while reading the 25-page children's book, Kingdom of Friends, to one class of students. In total, researchers logged 5,207 questions from teachers and 3,469 child responses. About 25 of the questions had I think they mean about 52% of the quizzes had dumbed down questions such as, does he look happy? To which most children would respond with a single yes or no. The other 48 god damn it, what the fuck is with my reading today? Consisted of what, why, and what experts called how procedural questions, which ask children to recall events in the story and analyze their outcome. When the teachers asked these more sophisticated how procedural questions, the children would give more elaborate and complex answers, Justice says. These are the kinds of questions we need more of. This will often produce wrong answers, but that's an important part of learning, according to Justice. There should be teachable moments when teachers can help their students learn something new, she says. You have a conversation that is conceptually challenging for the child, because that is going to push their development forward. Results in the study show that children answered their teachers' questions correctly 85% of the time, and that's too good. What?
No, that means you're teaching the kid.
Anyway, when kids
so what do you want? Like 10% of the kids to get the questions right, and the other 90% to get them wrong? And like, if they're getting the questions right, that means that they're actually being taught.
Oh, it does depend on the question. A simple yes or no with dumbed down. Does he look happy? I get.
Well, yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that question as an example, because that's more of an art critique in an illustrated book, as opposed to a question about the story itself. A better question based on the story would be, so how do you think he's feeling? Slightly more complex, but whatever.
Yeah, but anyway, when kids get 85% of the questions right, that means the questions the teacher are asking are too easy. That means that...
Sorry, if I take a science test and everybody in the class gets at least 85% of the questions right, that means we were taught the science
to the teacher's
and we
satisfaction.
know what we're taking the test on. It means that we know the material that we're being tested on. That's what that means. That does. Let's get all kids to just fail tests. Let's make them ridiculously harder than it already is.
All right, let's keep going. Some experts suggest between 60 and 70% of questions should be easy, but the remaining 30 to 40% should ask children to ponder higher concepts and encourage them to stretch their imagination. Okay, let's ask kindergartners to calculate to pi out to as many decimals as they can.
Now, to be fair, this is talking more like English and shit, right? Like how hard do you make the questions? Do you make it like something that you barely touched on and like, oh, was this kid paying attention for this 2 minutes that I mentioned this thing? Or like this metric doesn't work out mathematically.
Just
30% of the questions are harder. If you're talking about like an English test, if the other 30 to 40% of questions are harder, a lot of those questions are more about interpretation than anything, and you being able to justify your interpretation of the story that you just read or listened to. If you're talking about an art class, it's less about questions, unless it's a art history class. That's more like a history class, and that's fine, because that's also an interpretation of what events might have led to these other events. Taking a science class, that's not much interpretation, but you can also write a hypothesis about what you think might happen. In math, that's pretty straightforward. If it's harder, then that means the teacher didn't even cover it. What the fuck is this article talking about?
Let's finish this up. There's only 2 paragraphs left. Justice says an open-ended question such as, how do you think this book will end, is a good example. You can see how a question like that is going to evoke a complex response, she says. With some practice and reflection, we can change how we talk with children during shared reading and help them develop stronger language and reading skills. I am a pretentious bitch. Oh, that's not written in there?
How do you think this book is going to end? Kids generally know how a kid's book is going to end.
With the end.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a response I would have given. My response would have been, everything's going to turn out okay, the end. And that would have been my response. If you want more complex things, let them finish the book and then do what my high school English teacher did with the book 1984. And as a project, we all had to rewrite the ending to how we wanted it to end.
I would have said, and they were all fed to giant man-eating lizards at the end.
And capitalism won, destroying all of this communism.
Yeah. By the way, my ending for 1984 was fucking awesome. Way better than the bullshit ending that was actually in the book.
Did it have the Ninja Turtles in it? Because if not, I don't think so.
Did it have what?
Did it have the Ninja Turtles in it? Because if not, I don't think so.
Of course it had the Ninja Turtles in it.
Okay.
If it didn't end in Karl Marx being dug up and discredited to his rotting face, I don't know who you are anymore.
It didn't actually have it had the Ninja Turtles, but it was more like an underground team of crime fighters that started the revolution. That just happened to be named after Renaissance writers. I couldn't get away with putting the actual Ninja Turtles in there. I wouldn't get as good of a grade. But
right.
And one of these days I'll post that online. I still have it. As you read the passage below, consider how Paul Bogard uses evidence such as facts or examples to support claims, reasoning to develop ideas to connect claims. Fuck off.
SAT can suck a DICK.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hooked on Pahonics working for me.
Hooked on hydroponics worked for me.
I remember taking the SAT pre-test just to get out of Spanish class because I didn't want to do Spanish class.
I remember just doing running start and just not even taking the SAT.
The SAT pre-test, is that the one where they take you to the nurse's office and they put the headphones on and you have to tap on which ear makes the beep?
If that's what it is, then I got violated.
Beep! Oh, it's left.
I did not plagiarize the Ninja Turtles. I had some characters based on the Ninja Turtles.
It is legally distinct. It is distinct enough to get around copyright.
It is the DVR version of I didn't steal this.
They technically were not turtles.
Should we move on to heat or vaccines?
Heat.
Let's talk about the heat.
What? Oh, the heat.
Fucking hot out.
Historic heat wave shatters all-time temperature records across Europe.
Drink some goddamn water.
Drink some goddamn water, you damn Europeans.
But keep in mind, like, it was only 70 degrees in London during their marathon one time, and everybody was falling. So, is it really a heat wave?
No, hold on. Let's read this. A blistering heat wave across Europe shattered a number of all-time temperature records across the continent on Thursday. By the numbers, on Thursday, Paris reached 42.6 Celsius, or 108.7 Fahrenheit, by its hottest temperature on record. By far its hottest temperature on record, according to Metro France. Because fuck them. Other places broke all-time records as well. The Netherlands at 40.4 or 104.7. Belgium at 40.6 or 105. Germany at 41.5 or 106.7. According to the German Weather Service and reported by DPA News, London broke its July temperature weather at Heathrow Airport with a 36.9 degrees Celsius or 98.4 degrees Fahrenheit, with the country's all-time temperature record at risk, according to the Met Office. Oh no, it's still less than 100!
It was hotter than that last week.
It was hotter than that this week. Many indoor homes and gathering places across Europe do not have air conditioning because they do not think. Often an expected feature in the US, leaving both the elderly and very young especially at risk during extreme heat events. Why it matters. A repeated trend towards record-breaking temperatures is indicative of a warming climate driven by human activity. How
of course, Y2K and W saying it's fucking too hot. Get out of here. Go home to your igloo.
I'll accept that from Canada. They still have polar bears as pets.
Yeah.
But only the hockey players, because everyone else is too pansy-ish. I mean, come on, you're how does this prove that it's driven by human activity?
Okay. It's a few episodes that we went pretty green and everything. I'll make the same statement I made then. Whether or not it's driven by human activity, the climate is changing, and if there are things that we can do to continue keeping the Earth more habitable, not just for us, but for other land species, I think we should do that. Yeah. I don't know. Some water fish, some fish can just fuck off. I don't like that. Then we should take actions to try to make the Earth as habitable as possible and as comfortable as a climate as possible for future generations and just to keep the planet alive. I don't think that's a bad thing. How it's happening, why it's happening, doesn't fucking matter to me. Let's keep the Earth habitable. I don't think that's a controversial point of view.
I don't disagree, but still, because a repeated trends toward record-breaking temperatures does not prove human activity is the cause. It does prove a change in the climate. Yeah. But again, it doesn't matter if it's human-made or not. The fact is, we should do what we can to help keep it habitable for at least us. Anyway, climate change is increasing. Change increases the odds that similar extreme heat events will occur throughout the world. Climate scientists warn that heat waves that are now considered exceptional events will become the norm in coming decades if emissions of plant-warming greenhouse gases are not sharply curtailed.
Stop. I gotta address Crab right here. How do I sound like a dirty communist right now? I like to live in comfortable temperatures. That's why I have an air conditioner.
Which I should add. He said he turned it off because it would be too loud. He's suffering for your viewing pleasure.
I'm not suffering. It's still pretty comfortable for now.
Don't ruin the fucking message. Shut up.
I have my portable AC.
Oh yeah, that's right. I am suffering.
I'm making a monitor out of you. Fucking dumb.
For you, I am suffering for you.
I'm suffering because I live in California.
I've never been a member of the Communist Party.
Though I can't really call it suffering because it's more like you're a masochist because you're still there. Why are you still there?
Because I've still got 2 more years on my apprenticeship.
Yeah.
That's part of it, at least. But I mean, okay. Ultimately, the way I look at it, I don't care if it's man-made or not. The fact is, the climate's changing. Can we stop arguing about whether or not it's man-made? That's kind of irrelevant if your point is to save us from the extreme heat.
Or even extreme cold. Like fucking over the winter there was that polar vortex, which was caused by the more northern areas heating up and pushing all the cold air down. Yeah, it's changing all over the place. Some places it's actually getting colder, some places it's getting warmer. Can we just keep everything at like a cool 65 to 70 degrees all around the board?
Maybe 72 at most. I say that for Miss Rimshee. Because let's be honest, you and I would be fine at like 65. But men also...
I keep my apartment at 62. I have electricity included in my rent, so I'd fuck that. Anyways.
Well, if that was the case for me, I'd have like 6 different portable AC units running.
Oh, I'm looking into getting another one.
Must be nice. Meanwhile, I'm living in upstate New York, where everything is dictated by downstate New York. That's a whole nother episode. Don't get me fucking started.
Oh, I know the feeling. I lived in Eastern Washington, where everything's dictated by Western Washington.
Yeah, I live in California, where everything is dictated by the coast.
Where everything is
the
dictated
urban
by California.
coast.
I live in California, where everything is dictated by California.
I live in California, where everything is dictated by fucking Facebook moms.
Oh, no. Facebook moms are only a voice.
Yeah.
It's all dictated Rimshee, by corruption.
Yeah, Rimshee, I understand. I've been to a lot of other places in California that aren't the main places to go in California. Those people are reasonable.
Anyway.
No. Good cat. You can't keep making money if you destroy the earth, you fuck. Good capitalists want to save the earth because then you can still continue making more money. Duh. Alright. Sorry, I had to get that out. I'm about to get into a Twitter fight with Crab over here.
Do it!
Whoa, calm down, tough guy.
Well, let's talk about bee vaccines.
Whoa, Addie.
What?
It's internet tough guy. Thank you very much.
Oh, whoa, I'm sorry.
Read about bee vaccines, Jables. Read about bee vaccines.
I've kind of lost my interest in this since yesterday. The first ever insect vaccine is designed to protect bees from devastating diseases. Vaccinate your bees, that way we can all have some honey.
Cool.
The queen eats the vaccine and then passes on the immunization to further generations. They just... Okay, that's the fucking article.
Sweet.
Yeah, right, pretty much.
Next fucking article.
If you want to read more of this, I'll put the link in the chat. If not, whatever.
I mean, I could read this, but they just gave it away with the tag.
Yeah.
Vaccinate your bees. Let's get some honey.
Instead, let's talk about a medieval warrior, I guess. You're reading this one.
Yeah, Addie, you're reading this one.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What?
Yeah!
Alright, what am I reading?
Medieval warrior woman found in a Viking graveyard was no Viking.
Okay.
Let's see how sexist this article is. Or something.
When archaeologists discovered the remains of a woman in a Viking graveyard in Denmark, an axe near her skeleton told them that she may have been a fighter. Closer examination of both the weapon and her burial revealed something unexpected. She was no Viking. Rather, the woman was Slavic.
Those Slavs.
Like, anytime I hear the word Slavic, Bandit Radio just starts playing in the background. Rather, the woman was Slavic and likely came from a region in Eastern Europe that is now Poland. Representatives of Poland's Ministry of Science and Higher Education said in a statement. A coin from a cemetery on the Danish island of Langeland revealed that the burial site is about 1,000 years old, according to the statement. The woman's grave was the only one that held a weapon. Some shit about female empowerment and marriage.
Oh yeah, yeah. By the way, this does remind me. They originally found this a few years ago, and it was touted up as this big feminist symbol of, see, women weren't always oppressed. There was even a female Viking.
You know what that reminds me of? Remember hashtag We Was Kangs?
Yeah.
The first man wasn't actually from Africa.
Anyways, yeah. So like this is actually a follow up on that same skeleton. That's what this actually is. It just took years and years for them to go through all the studies and testing and all that shit.
You know, like instead of jumping to conclusions.
Like so many things on the internet.
Maybe like a scientist
have
would
all
do.
The information.
Yeah, like a scientist would do.
Throughout history.
Which is what they did, and this is the outcome.
And across the globe, women have wielded weapons. End of article. In recent years, archaeologists have found evidence that some Viking women were buried with weapons. It's a weird fetish. Don't judge. But in many of those cases, there were no human remains in the graves, and the gender of the former occupants was inferred from the presence of jewelry and other objects. Seriously, they weren't going on the bone structure. They're just like, oh, this one's got a fucking, like a really fancy necklace. It must have been
Addie.
Sexism and STEM.
You can't go based on bone structure.
Why?
Because trans people exist.
Shut up! But in many of those cases, there were no human blah blah blah. But Julian, other objects that typically belong to women. A name, an archaeologist with the University of Bonn in Germany and the University of Bergen in Norway said in the statement.
Why is Lasik saying any of this shit?
I'm drunk. Shut up. However, the Slavic, that feels a little pointed to just be like the Slavic woman skeleton was still lying in the grave. It wasn't a grave, it was a collection of the warrior's property. Duh. The skeleton showed no obvious injuries that would have indicated how she died, Gardula said. The axe resembled similar tools from the southern Baltic, a region that includes modern countries bordering the... Yeah, whatever, who fucking cares? And the chambered construction of her grave is reminiscent of cemetery structures from that part of the world during the Middle Ages. An artist's reconstruction of some shit that feminists got butthurt about. During the period in Denmark, Slavs and I'm too fucked for this. Scandinavians lived close together, which would explain why a Slavic woman was laid to rest in a Danish graveyard. To date, approximately 30 graves of women containing weapons have been raided in Norway, Denmark, and Sweden, completely desecrated by scientists. Of those 10 graves, Of those 10 graves, the article's actually written like fine. I'm just fucked right now.
I'm just kind of retarded.
Of those 10 graves, including that of the Slavic warrior. Wait, so she was a warrior? Then what's the point of this article if she was a warrior? Or did they not know that?
No, they're debating it. I have a different theory on this, but I'll get to that after the article.
His findings will be published in 2020. Fucking spoiler alert. As part of a project investigating Viking and Slavic women warriors titled "Amazons of the." That's
racist.
Amazons of the North. If they're not of Amazonian descent, you can't call them Amazons. That's like calling
peeking.
Shut your fucking whore mouth, Jables. That's like calling Native Americans Indians. Or the
Would it still be a whore mouth if I shut it?
You know what I think it was?
You know what? You know what? You got me there. You got me there.
you know what my thought on this is? This is probably a burial chamber for all the warriors' property, and she was considered part of that.
I literally just said that.
She's part of that.
Clapping emoji.
Or here's another one.
She's a warrior.
It's I wasn't going to say she was a warrior. Here's the other one. She is the wife of some sort of like renowned warrior of the time, and she was buried with his weapons because he did such a great job with them. And so to honor him after he died in battle, and she ended up dying later, they allowed her to be buried with his weapons and some of his goods.
Slayer time wants snoo.
No, I agree that she was captured by the Nords for praising Talos, and she was buried with the warrior's possessions. Fuck the Aldmeri Dominion.
Oh, that reminds me. I have a
Fighting
very interesting movie that I'm gonna try to watch tonight after the.
Yeah, don't say what the name is.
Oh boy, am I excited! I hope I don't pass out from blatant alcoholism before then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't say the name of this.
Yeah, it's that offensive. I can't say the name of it.
It's called Gay.
No.
Gay Snickers from outer space.
No. I'll say it this way. Homosexual neighbors from outer space.
Homosexual neighbors from outer space.
I'll post the cover art in shit posting on the
Saints server.
Yeah, on the Saints Discord. Just go and have a look. By the way, after the Y, that is not an R. That's just terrible graphic design. So go take a peek at that, guys. Should we just move on to the satire articles and then fill the rest up?
Yeah, let's hit up.
Because we've been trying to do one of these for like 2 or 3 weeks now.
I just want to take a moment to appreciate the fact that Yami is single-handedly building a portfolio for people to use against me in like a hashtag like Twitch streamers exposed video. Like my career is fucked. Thanks, Yami.
You have a career?
I don't mean fucking Twitch.
It's done, Addie.
If Twitch is your job, you're either deluded and sad, or fuck you for being more successful than me at something that you enjoy doing.
Yeah. Addie, if anybody tries to call you out on the shit that you say, I'll get you back. Don't worry about it.
I'll get your front. Wait.
I didn't join this chat tonight for a spit roast, but that's the way it's going. What color lipstick do you prefer?
None.
Oh, not
I'm just trying to coordinate so that when Miss Rimshee sees the lipstick on your dick, you can be like, "Oh, that's the same shade you wear." That was from that, and then you can just be like, "I'm gross. I don't wash my dick. I'm not cheating on you."
Yeah, I'm just a dirty boy, and I haven't showered yet today.
Yeah, I'm a dirty. I'm a dirty. That's the sound of more booze going in my face.
Wow.
I hope no one I work with or no one that cares about me ever finds this channel. Because they're gonna be like, Addie, it's time for.
Oh, I'm actually glad that we moved to Twitch because the YouTube channel was getting spread around to people that I actually know in real life.
Oh no.
Yeah.
True facts. I'm staring across at my laundry basket right now, and on top is a shirt that I wrote in Sharpie across the chest. It says "stupid whore." Why did I do that?
Okay.
Why would you do that? Because you know yourself.
It's accurate.
I wear that shirt in public. That's not a joke.
The thing is,
Okay.
I don't expect it to be.
I'm 36 years old. Why do I do that?
I don't know.
Is this that moment
I think the first word already says it.
am I having that moment that Jeff had when he took the dreads out of his hair?
Maybe. Well, are you saying you're old?
Maybe.
It's just a phase.
You want to clean up your act a little bit?
I mean, I don't want to clean up anything. I'm too lazy for that.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone already knows me as a dirty girl with a U, so.
So maybe when she's 89.
Yeah.
When I'm 89,
of
I'll
which-
be paying somebody else to do that for me.
80-year-old 9 punk coming to
80-year-old
painful
9
realization that
Hold
it
on.
89
Hold on.
sorry 89-year-old punk coming to slow painful realization that it was indeed just a phase.
The last 72 years of my life were a fucking phase.
Lawrence, Kansas, elderly punk lifer Alicia Rosenblatt came to the difficult conclusion yesterday that her decades of punk spirit and ethos were indeed a passing phase, just as her mother predicted over 70 years ago.
No.
Saddened family and friends reported. X's Nausea and Aunt Alicia's favorite song of all time. X's Nausea is Aunt Alicia's favorite song of all time. So we were lighting the candles on her safety pin themed cake when she emerged from the bathroom looking really pale. He called niece Jenna Hastings at Rosenblatt's 89th birthday party. Intended to celebrate her life and dedication to sticking it to the man. Like, exceedingly pale. Granted, she's always pale and rarely sees the sun thanks to one of her million medications, but she was borderline translucent. I thought she was dying, and in a way, she is. Witnesses reported upon emerging from the bathroom, Rosenblatt gave a sorrowful soliloquy, admitting she no longer identified with her former punk ideals and aesthetic. As I was sitting on the toilet, I saw a Chico's catalog in a basket near the hand towels, Rosenblatt admitted, averting her eyes. In that moment, I just realized that all the leather and studs and tattoos are kind of silly, and were just a passing, lifelong fad. For my short, withering remainder, I'd like to explore Yankee Candles, Fleetwood Mac, Lifetime movies, and painting portraits of my wasp. Normie mother of my wasp. Normie mother while sipping white wine. It's gonna be a real bitch growing his green hair. Oh, damn it, hard times, you failed me for once.
Jambles, you're not even fucking drunk.
It's gonna be a real bitch growing this green hair out, though, she added. Saddened by the news, legends of the punk community tried to make sense of Rosenblatt's lost faith. Alicia has, at some of the Alicia was at some of the early Stooges gigs, and we usually caught up when on tour. Took me through the Midwest, recalled Stooges singer and punk icon Iggy Pop. But look, I get it. Sometimes when I'm on the 18th hole at Pebble Beach, I daydream about what it would be like to give up punk and live a simpler, more traditional, boring life. Gotta grow up sometime, you know?
Jables? Did you die?
That was stupid and made me sad.
At present time, Rosenblatt was asking a tattoo artist to modify her ACAB tattoo to read, "Always count all blessings."
One Canuck, you're 100% right, by the way. The replacements are the OG Punk, and no one can tell you any different. Because you're right. You are correct.
Sorry about that. My audio cut out like halfway through the article.
Yeah,
my audio cut out halfway through, so...
I finished it, and it's not halfway through, it's at the end.
Yeah. Well, no, I recognized that you were talking, and I was like, fuck. I had to reset everything.
Yeah, that's just because you suck.
Yeah, Jables.
Yeah.
Some of us care that there's a show happening right now. I know you don't care about the show.
You know, it's called a technical difficulty, Addie.
Okay, yeah. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's not my fault. Everything was working fine beforehand. I did extra shit. I made sure everything was updated, and it's all good.
Yeah,
and for that, Addie, I think you should read this next one.
You can't make me. You're not the police.
I think you will like reading this one.
What is it?
It's the last one. Although it is 5:54. We've got like 5-ish minutes.
Yeah, but they're probably already live.
Yeah,
they're
probably
already live doing pre-show shit.
Yeah, he's definitely already live doing pre-show shit.
Yeah, let's actually just save that for next week.
Yeah. Everybody go fucking subscribe to Mike Dane. Signal boost the fuck out of his channel. Get the Reptile channel banned off fucking YouTube because they're scum. And they make me really upset. And they made me cry twice today. Fuck them. I need more alcohol. I'll see you guys over at the live show. Or the main
live show.
Whatever. I don't understand words anymore.
Yeah, well, words have never been your strong suit.
Yeah, well, education's never been yours, so.
Yeah, well, RC cars.
He is a Marine.
Well,
give me my crayons.
RC cars are more impressive of a hobby than coloring.
As an added thing, I'm thinking about adding a new segment to the show, so make sure you drop a bunch of shit into that is this Jables section in the Lesser Saints of Discord.
Pictures, articles, videos. As long as it's safe for work, we're good to go. And the only reason I say safe for work is
Twitch.
Yeah.
Yep. Drop not safe for work stuff in there too, because that's just fun.
Yeah. True.
All right.
Very true.
So I guess, yeah. With that, we've been your Lesser Saints of Discord. Let's go watch the main show. Fuck yeah. See you in the chat.
Yeah.
Great. I'm too lazy to click on.
Catch us back next week at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There we go.
Don't. You have better things to do with your Friday nights.